Hey everyone, it's Emma from Movius Makes. This video is a quick get to know me and artist Q&A. Some basic information about me is I'm 23 years old and I've been married for 3 years. I've been a full-time artist for over a year. Now let's get to the questions. The first question is, how did you find your art style? I feel like I still haven't fully developed an art style. As I keep illustrating, I like to experiment with different pens, color palettes, and styles. The style I have currently was mostly developed through inspiration from illustrators I found on Instagram and YouTube. I like to find multiple sources of inspiration, pinpoint what I like about their style, and incorporate those traits into my own art. How do you stay confident in your artwork? I don't. Just like any artist, I have days where I feel like a fraud and I'm unable to produce a quality piece of art. Sometimes I feel like my art isn't good and I feel embarrassed to show it, but I just ignore that feeling and I post my art anyway. Sure enough, I still get people who like my art and compliment it. You just have to remember that even when you aren't liking your own art, chances are someone else will love it. And oftentimes when I feel bad about my art, I step away from it for the rest of the day, and when I come back, I decide that I actually like it. I think sometimes I stare at my art for too long and then start overanalyzing it. How many hours a day do you work on your art? Just focusing on hours, I have pen to the paper or paintbrush to the canvas. It depends on the day, but it can vary from 2 to 8 hours. If I'm painting and I really want to get finished, I may spend all day on it. With digital art, each piece takes at least 2 hours, so it just depends on how many pieces I do that day. I try to do at least one drawing a day for those 2 hours, and the rest of my day is spent on other small business duties like packing orders, posting on my socials, making products like stickers and prints, filming content, and planning for future art plans. What products do you sell? Currently on my shop, I sell art prints of my paintings, some original paintings, vinyl stickers, sticker sheets, custom illustrations, and a couple of t-shirts that are sold through a third party. I have sold some jewelry as well in the past. What products do you want to sell? I have so many ideas for products that I want to sell, but I haven't decided yet on which illustrations would look best on certain products. I want to sell mouse pads with my art, enamel pins, a brush pack, keychains, digital downloads of phone wallpapers, a calendar either for the wall or a desk, bookmarks, fine art prints of my digital art, a coloring book, and designs for fabric. It's an extensive list. Do you order your products online or make them from home? I ordered stickers from an online business when I first got started, and they were great stickers, but now I make my stickers from home because I was gifted a Cricut. With the art prints, I have always made them from home, but I did have to invest in a pretty nice printer and good shipping supplies to make sure they don't get damaged during shipping. I did order some poster-sized prints from a company to sell, but I didn't think the quality was very good and the packaging was very boring. I do have t-shirts on my shop made to order through a company who makes and ships them out, but again, the packaging is very boring. I prefer to have everything here at home with me so I can pack my own orders and make them more personalized and cute. I like to write a handwritten note to the buyer and give them some freebies. How did you learn to paint? When I was in high school, I just decided to paint one day, and I used craft paint to paint some art I had found on Pinterest. I remember feeling pretty confused on how to move my brush correctly and blend colors and such, but I just practiced. From there, I painted fairly often, but I wouldn't say I was an expert. When I got into college, my friend convinced me to take a painting class with her since she knew I liked painting, and I said yes. This class was probably my favorite class in college, but I was met with that same feeling of not knowing what I was doing, especially when our first assignment was oil painting a still life of some vases in only black and white. I learned a lot in this class about color theory and incorporating highlights and shadows into your painting. As much as I loved this class, I ditched the oil paint as soon as it was over and stuck to acrylic paint. We all have our preferences. I prefer acrylic paint because it's easier to work with, it dries much faster, and it's a lot cheaper to buy. I still painted after this class once in a while, but this last year was when I painted the most and improved the most. Practice made me learn the most. What is your favorite medium? As much as I love painting, I prefer digital illustration because it is less messy. Seems like a silly reason, but sometimes I don't feel like getting my paints prepped and then cleaning them up. With digital art, it's so easy to just pick up and start with no preparation and no mess. It's also easier to make a simple piece of art that takes me an hour or so, whereas with painting, it's always go big or go home for me. I spend days on my paintings and perfectionism gets the best of me. How do you find inspiration for what you create? I find a majority of my inspiration from Pinterest and Instagram. On Pinterest, I can simply search for some subjects I'm interested in and then find so much more than just that subject. I have so many ideas saved to my Pinterest boards that I can easily go look through my saved pins for ideas of what to paint. On Instagram, there are so many art prompts available and draw this in your style challenges. I follow a lot of artists on my Instagram so I can get inspiration and ideas just from scrolling through my feed. Another great place for inspiration is nature. I love nature, so just a simple walk can give me ideas of what to draw. There's flowers, a swing hanging from a tree, a cat stalking in the grass, a cute couple laying together, and you get the idea. At the moment, I have a cup filled with sticks that have art prompts on them, and Monday through Friday I draw one out to randomly illustrate. I put lots of prompts on the sticks, from things I've been wanting to draw and things that I avoid because they're a challenge. This inspires me to create because I don't have to seek out an idea, I just have to draw out a stick. How do you navigate creative block? Creative block is hard and I have suffered from it many times. Sometimes it lasts for a couple of days and sometimes it lasts for weeks. If you're having an off day and really struggling with creating, give yourself a self-care day. Take a walk, watch a movie, bake, clean your home. Don't think about art all day. Don't push yourself to create art when you're feeling frustrated. For me, if I'm feeling frustrated and I try to force art, it turns out to not be very good. Instead, after a self-care day, try to let go of perfection and high expectations for your art. Try something new. Sketch in a sketchbook, whatever you want to sketch. Don't tell yourself you need to make something amazing, just do what you love. Most times when I just let go of expectation and create something for fun, I find myself feeling more inspired, and then my desire to create comes back. Just be patient with yourself. Do you compare yourself to other artists? How do you not let this damage your confidence? This is a hard one, and I struggle with this a lot. I feel inspired by artists I see online, but sometimes, most times, I feel a little discouraged because they're more successful than me. They have more followers, they make more money from their art, they seem to really know what they're doing. I feel pretty jealous sometimes. I've only been doing serious art for a year, and I try to remind myself of that. I'm still improving, and even though it seems other artists might be better and more put together, they have been honing their craft for a lot longer than me. I need to have patience with myself and be excited for the process of becoming more confident with my art. For motivation, I can look at my own artwork from a year ago and see all the improvements I have made. Art takes time, improvement takes time, and running a small business takes time, but there's nowhere to go but up. It is also important to remember that every artist is unique and you are unique in your own way. Comparing yourself to others in any way, not just their artwork, can be very harming. It is hard, but it's something I work on every day. Try to appreciate other artists and truly enjoy their work, as well as your own. Oftentimes, we are our own worst critics. Well, that's all the time I have for answering questions. Please don't hesitate to ask me any more questions you might have about myself or my journey as a full-time artist in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!